Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here though, my name is Bram. I post videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays all about luxury shopping, fashion, lifestyle, and travel. So if those are things that are interesting to you, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and become a member of my growing YouTube family. All right, guys, today we have an unboxing. Spoiler alert, I guess, if you have been here before, this won't come as a surprise. This is not a true unboxing. I received the package actually last night, and of course, I had to open it and check it out. However, there is a true unboxing coming in my next vlog. So I'm in the process of filming a vlog. A vlog typically takes me unless I'm doing something specific, but it typically takes me a week to a week and a half to film like little segments or whatever. And so it won't be up for probably a few days to a week from now when you're seeing this, but it does have the true unboxing in there, so you can see kind of like first reactions. I promise it's not that exciting in terms of like my reaction. I am sort of on the fence with the bag. I think I need to, as usual, I need to kind of dress it up. I need to, I don't know. It's the color. It's the color. It's an odd color, and I am confused on what to do. So I'm going to open the box now, recreate the unboxing for you a little bit, and then we will talk about the bag. And I would love some feedback from you guys in terms of what you think. I have a feeling that this color is not going to appeal to most people, which is probably why I got a really great deal on it. However, I do like the color. I just don't know if I like the shade of color. All right, let me open it, and you guys, I need some input because I only have a few more days to figure out what the plan is on this box, this bag. Okay, all right. So it's open as usual. I am in my vintage pre-loved phase. I have not gotten anything new from the store in quite a while, and I don't really foresee. Never say never, because obviously I love shopping and I love luxury items. However, I just haven't been so excited lately about anything. So I have been way more excited about looking for vintage items and, just kind of checking out what is out there on the pre-loved market. So if that's exciting to you, a lot of this channel is about pre-loved and vintage items and just like looking for things that not everybody has. I'm sort of in this space where I just don't want to see really any of the things that I'm wearing kind of coming and going on the street. It's totally different on social media. In my perspective, it's completely different. We see people wearing love bracelets. We see people wearing like the Orans. We see people wearing, you see people wearing Birkins. But in real life, it's not something that I don't think most people see all the time unless you're in like a specific location in the world, So I'm not talking about like what I'm inundated with on my feed. I'm talking about like what do I see in my real life day to day. And I try to go for items that no one is going to see and people are going to be excited when they look at it. I mean, I'm obviously excited, but I love the feeling of like I love people watching, and I love it when I see people with like incredible either vintage items or like bags that I haven't seen in years or ever, or shoes that I haven't seen, or outfits that are crazy. Like that's what I love watching that. I love that. So that's what I like to kind of, recreate in my life. If somebody was to see me and they had the same perspective of like fashion and like just the thought process that I go through with it, would it be exciting to see these items kind of pass them by? And yeah, so did that make any sense? I don't know. All right. Anyway, let's get started. So this is the box, obviously, and let's open it. It's a big box. So this time around, I usually ask for like no special packaging, but I guess I must have forgotten because obviously I have the fashion nail file there, which I don't use. And there's that. And I also got all of the whatever, what is it called? Confetti, right? Yes. Okay. So let's move that. All right. It's not a huge bag, but on the screen it's kind of large. So we have the bag. Let's stop and make a, yeah, okay. I always forget, guys. Sorry. Every single time. So if you ever look at my thumbnails, it's literally like I try to go back and find a decent still picture, and I always forget to make my thumbnail pictures. So that was what that was. All right, let's untie it. And a little like strip tease. And here she is. Okay, so. All right, guys, like what do you, I don't know. I am torn. I have a list a mile long of bags that I want to get my hands either back on or on, right? Because I'm trying to build this like incredible capsule collection of special bags and accessories. And hopefully we're going to branch out to clothes and stuff like that at some point. So when I see exciting things that either I've never seen before or that are, I know are rare or whatever, that come up either on Fashion File, The Real Real, and Rebag, which is the sites that I stalk constantly, plus eBay and all of the Japanese sellers there. And I'd look at Facebook groups, like just all of that stuff. But when I see something pop up that I think is interesting and I think it is a good price, I typically jump on it, right? So this is the medallion tote. This actually comes from the year. The range is, it's 2000, I believe it's 2000, although the range on Fashion File, I believe, said it was 2000. The date code, the series number specifically, is 2000 to 2002. So whatever, but Fashion File said 2000. So I don't know if that's for sure or whatever, but it's somewhere between 2000 and 2002. So she's an old girl. Yeah, she's old, but she has not been used. And maybe somebody purchased her is what I'm thinking and was like, what am I going to do with this color? I have no idea how to wear this color. And that's what happened. But I don't think she was ever really used. She is the only place that you can kind of tell that there's any real wear on this bag, in my opinion, is the bottom. And it's not even wear. It's just kind of like just aging patent leather, you know? She's not sticky at all, which is, I think, pretty rare for a patent leather bag, period. So she must have been stored really well. And again, not really used. I do love the medallion tote. I have to say, I have never owned this bag. Yeah, I've never owned this bag. I was very into it in the early 2000s, but I never actually picked myself up one. And I'm not a black bag girl. So for me, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, one day, obviously it's a discontinued bag at this point, but it was always a thought is like one day I will purchase one in maybe a pink or a white or a tan color or something like that, just because I don't like black that much, right? However, this one popped up and she's listed as orange. I think that she is sort of like an apricot. I guess that's how I would describe her. I feel like she's showing up relatively true to color now. In my unboxing yesterday, which you'll see in the vlog, it kind of showed up as a little bit of a darker, more of like a burnt orange maybe. And so it was kind of it was tough. I don't know. It was the sunlight in the room, the sun was setting, so it was kind of like a strange color in the room, and it just wasn't coming off right now. I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this bag. In the daylight, in the light of day, I feel like I like her more than I liked her initially last night, but I'm really kind of, I don't know. I don't really know. So I do, it's not about the color so much. I do actually really like the color. I think it's more about like what it's going to go with and stuff. I am not someone that has to match perfectly. Plus my clothes tend to be a little bit more, while my bags and my shoes, usually I like colorful and my nails obviously, and just, you know, like accessories and things, my clothes tend to be very understated and underwhelming in terms of color specifically. I know I dress up for my videos a lot of times, but like day to day, you know, I kind of wear this type of stuff. I'll wear whites, I'll wear beiges, I like army green, things like that. So the thought from me is like, is she going to match and go with all of those types of colors? And is she going to be like easy to wear in my wardrobe, right? So that being said, I'm kind of thinking about her with maybe like some really pretty citrusy summer dresses, maybe. I don't know. I don't know yet. So anyway, let's move on to kind of like showing you around the bag. She's in pristine shape. Fashion File had her listed as very good. I think she's excellent. There is a teeny bit of, like, you can see on the handles, like a little bit of like wrinkling on the handles, but I think that is sort of just kind of natural for handles that are shaped like this and like stiff, right? Inside, she doesn't open up very, very wide, but she's stuffed right now. So let's take that out. She's obviously a very structured bag, which is different from me. I like slouchy. I think just because I'm very casual 99% of the time, but I sort of liked that this was structured. So, you know, I like to have variation and different interesting choices in my bag wardrobe. So I felt like she kind of like checked those boxes sort of. So as you know, or maybe you don't know, but this bag comes with a back pocket, which I love because it's perfect for my phone. I usually wear my phone. I usually don't even put my phone in bags. So if the bags don't fit my phone, it's really not a deal breaker for me. But I usually like my phone just kind of like where I can reach it easily. So it is not something that concerns me if the phone can fit in the bag or not. But I always do like a back pocket if it comes with it, if it's available, and it looks like it's definitely, you know, maybe a little stretched out. Maybe someone used this a few times, but I can definitely fit my phone in there. Now on the inside, you have, it's sort of like a, it's kind of like a peachy, pinky, mauvey color. You're not getting the right color on camera. It's kind of hard to, yeah, I think it's a little pinker than the actual bag. It is sort of like, it is a peach, but it's like a pinkier peach than the actual outside of the bag. And it does have like one little small zip pocket in there, and it comes with the Chanel booklet. Oh, I hadn't even checked this last night. Let's see if there's anything else in there. There's all the things in there. Actually, that's really great. So this bag, when it was purchased, it looks like it was, I mean, I have the original price tag. So it was, can you see that, guys? It is backwards for you. It was $1,260, and I got it for much less. So I think that's the cool part about buying kind of like an off-the-wall color. I got this 20 years later in pristine condition when almost everything is more expensive than what it was. We got it for much, much less. So it does say orange, so it's large tote bag. We know that it's 30 centimeters. We know that this is the medallion tote, and it says it's orange, no size, $1,260, and it is the, I guess we don't like doing that, right? I guess it doesn't matter how old this bag is, but it is the 6 series, and it comes with, you know, how it came with the little booklet before. So yeah, it comes with all the things. That is, I like that. I do like when the bags come with all of that stuff, because I think it's cool just to kind of look back and see like, all right, how much was this back then? And I like all the original paperwork. Anyway, it does have another slit pocket on the other side. So you have the zipper pocket on that side, and then you have the slit pocket on this side, and then the rest of the bag is just one big hole. But it's super lightweight. It's called the medallion tote because of this little medallion that hangs. I do think it's interesting that they made the medallion in silver, although I do like that. I also love how chunky and heavy the hardware used to be, and like, I love that sound when you're walking. These are like, I think, the special things that don't really exist on Chanel bags anymore, sadly. But these were like the things that I used to love and that drew me to Chanel when I first started loving the brand, mid to late 90s, early 2000s. So anyway, yeah. So that's it. Again, I am, the only concern I think is that it's going to be hard to incorporate it into my wardrobe. But as I'm staring at it, it's growing on me. So this tends to happen to me where I think I hype myself up. I don't know if a lot of you do it as well. I hype myself up in my head about certain things and how much I want them or how amazing they're going to be, especially if I'm looking for something. For example, like this bag, I've kind of had my eye on a interesting color for many, many years. So it's been one of those things where it's not been a real search, but it's kind of like, okay, if one pops up at a good price in a cool color, I will grab it. And so when that happened, it was like, okay, I have to grab it at this point. But I feel like maybe it was hyped up so much in my head that when I actually see things, it takes me a minute to kind of come back down to earth and be like, okay, is this as good as I thought it was going to be? You know what I mean? So anyway, that is the unboxing. I hope I didn't make it like so depressed. It's sort of, I feel like I made it kind of like a depressing unboxing, but it's not. I do love it. Again, the color is growing on me and I sort of need to like sit with it, kind of just decide if this is something I'm going to wear. I'm probably going to pair it with like a few different outfits over the next few days and try to use it, get it out of the house, enjoy it, and see how, like, if that happens. If obviously it is becoming a problem to pair it, then I know that it needs to go back. Believe me, I have a list a mile long of other things that can be purchased if this one goes back. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards yes, because it's such an interesting color. I think I'm leaning towards yes. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Obviously, like I said in the beginning, I know this is not a color that probably most people are going to gravitate towards, especially because, so even like patent leather versions, if you check out the prices on the pre-loved market, specifically Fashion File, where I purchased this from, I will tell you that this bag was in the hundreds, okay? Not even the thousands. It was in the hundreds, which it was a spectacular deal, which was why I jumped on it so quickly. Most of the medallion totes on Fashion File specifically are, I want to say, close to 2,000, if not a little bit over 2,000. Now, granted, most of them are in caviar leather, but they do have other patent leather versions, and a lot of the times when I see patent leather versions on there, they tend to be, I want to say, kind of almost $2,000, like somewhere between like 1,600 to 2,000, and then usually the caviar is a little bit over 2,000. So that's usually like where the prices land. So the fact that this one was so low, and my thought is because again, it is a color that that people aren't. It's just probably not a popular color, you know? And that's probably why it was marked down so much, only because, again, like, as far as the bag is concerned, it is literally, there is not a mark on this bag. I haven't seen a mark anywhere. Yeah, I haven't seen a mark anywhere except for just kind of like I said, just kind of like a little, it's almost like a little bit of color discoloration, like a little bit of discoloration on the bottom. Again, not really even from use, just probably from time, you know, just from time. So anyway, that's it, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you would keep it. Like I said, I think that I know the answer for most people is probably no, they wouldn't have bought it to begin with because it is sort of an off, like an interesting, weird color. I do love orange though, so I will tell you that my favorite color when I was growing up, when I was little, was orange. I've always loved orange. I know it's not a very popular color, but I do love warm colors. I like cold as well, but or cool colors, but I do love warm colors. I always have. I love oranges. I love pinks. I love reds, corals, things like that. So this color is kind of right up my alley. Again, it's just the shade. If this was a pinkier orange, it probably wouldn't even be so much of a thought. It's just this kind of, like I said, it's kind of like an interesting, I think in certain lights it lends to maybe like a tan or a brownish, but it is orange. I don't know. Anyway, you guys, like I said, you guys tell me what you think, and yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you would do, what you suggest, if you think it is different, if you think it is cool, if you think it is horrible, let me know. My feelings won't be hurt. I am going to take the next few days and decide if she is a keeper or not. That's why we are not going to cut this off on camera. I will let you know, and I will update you if I kept this bag in my next video. All right, guys. And that's it. If you have not already subscribed, let me just go over that real quick. If you have not already subscribed, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button. It's free for you, but it means the world to me. We often do unboxings and shopping vlogs and kind of talk about bags and fashion. And if you're into that, then that's what we do over here. And I am going to also post up my Instagram as usual. So if you are not following me over there, come and follow me over there. I am trying my best to be more active there. I think I am succeeding. I still have a ways to go, but I would love it if you would join me and we can continue the conversation over there. All right, guys, I am going to pop up a video somewhere over here just in case you haven't seen it and want to keep watching. All right, guys. Anyway, have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.